AITPPropTrader version 3 has been released. Hello, and welcome. My name is Rafi Soshikian, and if you're new to the channel, I'm the founder of Pinnacle Quant LLC. I'm a licensed and registered commodity trading advisor. I'm a software engineer that specializes in NinjaTrader automated trading systems and various Python machine learning tools. What I've done with AITPPropTrader version 3, and I'm excited to announce its release, and today is July 11th, 2023. We are a Tuesday. Is that I've added a fourth strategy, a long-only strategy that essentially is watching a very particular price level and is ensuring that price channels through that price level. And once it breaks out of that price level in a particular way, then it will enter a long trade. In this video, I'm going to be running a few hypothetical back tests and going through the charts with you so that you can have an idea as to how this new exciting strategy works. Now, a lot of people, when they're doing any type of breakout strategies, they essentially do not check to see how often price has channeled through that price level. And so if you have a specific way of ensuring that, okay, price channeled through that price level, let's say it went higher or it went lower, and then there was some sideways trading and it got back to that price level and it started crossing that price level again. Well, to keep track of all of that, that's going to be resource intensive, especially if you're combining with a bunch of other things. So your back tests, I mean, it'll load just fine. Nothing will crash. It's just your back tests will take longer. To save everybody time, I've decided to offer Inflection Rider, which is the strategy itself right here. Okay, so this is called Inflection Rider. What I did is I separated out Inflection Rider and I essentially made a separate strategy out of it. And I'm going to include this strategy just so that my clients can have an easy way, a fast way of back testing Inflection Rider without having to be bogged down with a bunch of other stuff that I have, that it's very powerful stuff that I have in AITPPropTrader version 3 that's on the sort of defensive end, if you will. So I have, for example, the HL follow stop, I have the modulate break even, I have the money management, I have the adaptive profit settings and the adaptive risk per trade, which is your adaptive stop, which adapts to the market. And of course, I have the trailing peak threshold, which is in itself an excellent way of trying to capitalize on unrealized profit and to reduce your trailing drawdown, your trailing threshold drawdown, which various prop trading firms are very keen on as they're observing that and making a determination if you're going to pass or fail your evaluation or you're going to keep your funded account. To essentially make things even faster, what I've done is I've separated out. So for this strategy, Inflection Rider, you'll get this along with AITPPropTrader version 3, just so that you can back test it, and I'll show you how fast it goes when it's separate versus when it's together. So with Inflection Rider on its standalone side, so you'll see what I've done is I've selected Monday through Friday, okay, just to make it easier. And here are my price scan bars and my frequency dial settings. So I'm going to do a bunch of different examples for you guys, just so you get a very clear idea. So the more you increase, for example, the frequency dial, the more you are essentially telling Inflection Rider's strategy that you want price to go through, to channel through that price level throughout that session. Okay, so that's an important distinction. Now, the way it works is the system will add these two numbers together. That's the first thing that it will do. It'll add the PSP number, the price scan bar, to the frequency dial number, and it'll say, okay, that means you want the price to go channel through a particular price level during that session a minimum of 58 times on a 1-minute bar, because that's what we're trading here, the 1-minute bar. So that is an incredible amount of confirmation, right? In fact, you can even make it more stringent. So you can say, I want up to 89 bars is what you can do. So you can say, when you add them together, you should not exceed 89 bars, okay? So you could say, for example, 60, you can say 70, 70, and so on, okay? So I'll demonstrate various different ways for you. So let's do a trade set up between 12:01 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. This is military time, and then we're flattening everything at 12:59. This is Pacific Standard Time, okay, guys? So I'm in Los Angeles. This is RTH hours. Obviously, I'm trying to get out 1 minute before RTH close there, and so we're trading the SPOOs. And I'll do different years of demonstration, but let's just do this year. Okay, this is January 1st until of this year until today, July 11th of 2023. Let's make sure we have some slippage. Okay, for the SPOOs, I would use 1 tick. For NQ, I would use 2 ticks, etc. So let's go and run it, and we'll do a demo with different numbers here. Okay, so I talked about frequentile before I run it. I didn't talk about price scan bars. So what this means is it grabs, in this case, the last 8 bars. Okay, once it's confirmed that it's gone through price level 58 times, it's gonna grab the last 8 bars, and it's gonna find the high of the last 8 bars. Okay, in this example, because I put 8 here, and it's gonna ensure that the entry price, the low price, the absolute low price of the entry bar that it's considering entering in, is higher than the high of these last 8 bars, to ensure that price has comfortably exceeded the high of the last 8 bars is what that means. But it also ensured that price channeled through the price level that I'm watching a total of 58 times. Okay, that in essence means price has built up a lot of sort of energy around that level. Okay, there's a lot of emphasis there. A lot of people are watching that price level now. Okay, when I say people, of course, I mean algos as well, because majority of the market, particularly if you're trading SPOOs or NQs, is essentially run by algos, okay, some sort of automation. And so let me go and run it like this, and then we'll do some various tests here, okay? This is going to load fairly quickly, all right? This is just 7 trades, very selective. Why? Because we ensured that that price level got crossed, essentially channeled through 58 times, okay? That's a lot. If we wanted to reduce that, we can do that certainly and get more trades. For example, if I want to take a lot more trades than 7, which is obviously not a lot of trades, so let's go ahead and put this instead of 50. I'm going to put 1. That means if price channels through the price level a total of 9 times, and the current price is the low of the current price is higher than the high of the last 8 bars, then go for it. So this should net us a lot more trades here. So here we go, 50 trades as opposed to 7 trades this year. So that is the hypothetical results. We break it down and we can see what happened. You'll notice that, like I said, it's 30-60. This is not optimized at all. It's just a 1-2 ratio there, 1-to-2 ratio. So profit target, the sells are flat and everything. And those are your stops. Again, the majority of these stops are actually going to have unrealized profit in them, but then price moved against the trade only because there is essentially no defense with the exception of the stop and the flat and everything. Okay, there is no defense like all of the stuff that I have in AITPPropTrader version 3, which you're going to be able to get and use Inflection Rider as well. All right, primarily this guy right here, trailing peak threshold. Okay, so let's go ahead and do something that's not as liberal as 8-1. I mean, let's do something sort of in the middle, and we'll do maybe a couple of demonstrations there. So let's do, I don't know, let me think here, 8:30, or should we do something else? All right, let me just do 8:30 and see what we get here. So this is gonna get less trades than 50 for sure, but it's gonna do more than 7 because we reduced that 50 to 30 here. So this is sort of closer to moderate, somewhere between moderate and conservative, somewhere in between those two ranges. So here it had 23 trades, max drawdown, that's what it is. And those are the trades, okay? And let's do something now, something the other way. So I'm going to change this from 8 to 1. And I'll even drop this a little bit. I still want to keep 30 there, so the total is 30, 1 and 29. So in essence, to repeat myself, again, none of this, by the way, guys, is a recommendation. This is just a demonstration, just to give you an idea how this works. You have to pick where you want to be as far as the risk to reward, but you have at least this video to go off of and to get an idea as to where you want to be once you understand how the mechanics of it works. And it's really easy. So I'm calculating 30 by just adding the 1 to 29. in essence, I'm telling the system, for the last session, take a look at, well, the current session you're in, for this session that you're in, take a look at the price level that you're watching and make sure that price has crossed through, has channeled through that price level at least 30 times. And in this case, I dropped the 8-to-1. What I'm saying here is if the current price, the open price, is higher than the last bar's high, then enter. Okay, so there's not much here, okay, because I'm trying to be more liberal now. But there is still, I'm checking that it crossed that price level at least 30 times before it goes for this long here. All right. In fact, let's also take a look at last year too. So now let's do 2022, all of 2022 and all of 2023. Again, today is July 11th. So I'm going to go and run this. We had 23 trades in 2023 at the previous settings, which are 8 and 30. So price scan bars was 8, the frequency dial was a 30. I dropped price scan bars to 1 and the frequency dial to 29. Okay, so that's the overall. But now we're looking at 2022 until all of 2022 until all of 2023 so far, July 11th. So let's break it down. That's the total numbers. You have max drawdown, but that's both years. So let's go and break it down by the year itself. That's trades. Let's break it down by the year. All right, max drawdown. That's what it was in 2022, and that's what it is in 2023. Okay, so those are the numbers that we have. Okay, now I'd like to show you guys how Inflection Rider will actually run in the primary strategy that you're going to be running your live cash trades or your live sim trades on, which is AITPPropTrader version 3. So there it is, Inflection Rider. This Inflection Rider is the same exact thing that you see here, 100% duplicate. Okay, so that's the same exact strategy. Let's make sure everything lines up here. We want not adaptive, we want static profit, and we want static risk per trade, which is a stop, so 60-30, just because I'm trying to match it up here. And we also don't want anything but Thursday. I'm only running it on Thursday. And so we also want 23. Make sure we have a tick of slippage. We do. Thursday. And let's make sure these numbers are not going to get, money management is not going to get hit, net session loss limit, net session profit limit, maximum number of trades. It's not going to hit 10 in that session. Let's just make sure that's not going to get hit either, the consecutive loss switch. And let's make sure that's not going to get hit. It's not going to get to 50,000 unrealized profit, peak profit in a single session per contract. So I think that's about it. Yep, 23. Let's make okay. So I'm gonna run this. This will load, since this is just Thursday. This will likely load in less than maybe 7 seconds. Okay. But the whole reason I'm giving you guys this as well is just so that you can run your back tests quickly, run optimization quickly. There it is. It loaded already. Okay. Now I'm going to load this one and run the back test. You're going to see that it's going to take between 1 and 3 minutes. Okay. So while we're waiting, I'd like to discuss the details or further details of the Inflection Rider. So I already discussed that Inflection Rider's settings with respect to the settings right there have to do with price scan bars as well as frequency dial. And that's just part of it. So there's still, the price level that it's watching is being compared to a higher price level. And if number one ensures that it is below that price level and there's enough room there to potentially get to that next price level so that you can essentially potentially book or have the ability to book some sort of a unrealized profit there. That's the first thing. In essence, there's got to be room between price level 1 and price level 2. Then there's price action. Okay, almost all of my strategies put a lot of emphasis on price action. To my mind, it is more important than any technical indicator you can add to a chart. So that's also very important. That's another important element of it. And there are certain filters that it's filtering out as well to make sure that the known traps are not hit. So there it is. It loaded. in essence, that's in a nutshell what Inflection Rider's new strategy in version 4 is, in version 3 is about. The reason I said 4 is now that you have 4 strategies to choose from in version 3. The 4th one, Inflection Rider, is the new one. Once again, so you'll notice it's exactly the same. Okay, every single part of this, it's exactly the same. So that's Inflection Rider. Those are the stats: 3350, 4900, 1150, 3.16, 11 trades. Those are the dates. Okay, and you'll see it's exactly the same with AITP Prop Trader version 3. 100% duplicate. Okay, it's the same exact strategy, so it's going to be duplicated. Of course, the reason it took longer for this backtest to load, which is why I'm offering you guys this as well. It's included in the price that is listed on the website. You can download both of them from from pinnaclequant.com. And so the reason I'm doing it is because there is all the other elements that are part of AITPPropTrader version 3, which are all being calculated at the close of the bar every 60 seconds. Okay, when you load a lot of data, especially if you're going to load like years of data, it's going to take a while to crunch through all of that. Okay, obviously when you load several days of data on a chart, there's going to be no palpable, no noticeable, no material difference in speed or in latency. You're not going to experience any latency because of it. But if you had a huge amount of data set, so if you had, let's say, 3 years of data or 2 years of data, all 1 minute bars loaded on the chart, and AITPPropTrader version 3 has to go through and store and update itself every 60 seconds, store a bunch of different pieces of information and update it every 60 seconds, yeah, that's going to slow things down. Okay, and so that is why I'm offering AITP Prop Trader version 3 alongside with the strategy by itself, so you guys can spend time optimizing this on, and it won't run on a live chart. Okay, I've set it so that it only runs on Sim and Sim 101 or a backtest or playback, so it runs on those accounts, but it will not run on a live cash trade because there is essentially almost no defense here, right? Because the only defense you have is your stop and the flat and everything. Okay, in any strategy, okay, whether you use mine or somebody else's or yours, however you want to do it, this point is what I'd like to drive home. Do not trade with a strategy that doesn't put a lot of emphasis on defense. True strategy, this is all offense. Okay, this is your offense. Everything else is defense. And you'll see I put a lot of emphasis on defense because that's what matters. And so I've given you every single tool that I can think of to make that happen. Okay, so hopefully this video has been helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. You can leave a comment and I'll be happy to read those and respond, or you can email me directly. Many of you do. Rafi@pinnaclequant.com, RAFFI@pinnaclequant.com. Or you can request a Zoom demo. Be happy to demonstrate this for you live so that you can see exactly how it works. I'd be happy to answer your questions during that demo as well. If you have any input you'd like to add, any feedback, that's great. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I put out these videos and I hope they're helpful, and I believe that they are. And also choose that notification bell as well so that as soon as I release these videos, you are notified. Until we meet, or until next time, take care of yourselves and God bless.